Welcome to UA Live. I'm Izzy.
And I'm Max. Coming up in the show, we look at the new Zollinger parking lot, coaches, Snapchat updates, and Wordle.
In the February 18th Golden Bear newsletter, Upper Arlington High School Principal Andrew Theotto stated that a new one-way traffic pattern for the Zollinger Road parking lot has been implemented. A fire lane has been established.
On February 8, 2022, the Board of Education voted to repeal the mask mandate in the district schools. The decision passed 4-1 with the opposing vote from Nidhi Santiani. This decision will give students the choice to wear a mask during school hours. The mask mandate ended on February 28th at midnight. Masking is also optional on all Upper Arlington school transportation.
The Upper Arlington girls lacrosse team welcomed new head coach Morgan Fee Moldovan this year. Fee Moldovan was a star in the New Albany before she played for Ohio State. Last spring, she coached the Columbus Academy Vikings to a 7-10-1 record. Lily Stelzer took a closer look at former 9-time state title coach Wendy Pinta as we recognize and congratulate her.
During Coach Pinta's time here, she led the program to 441 wins, 107 losses, 17 ties, 9 state championships, and winning many awards, including the first ever OCC Coach of the Year award and 2017 National Coach of the Year.
Wow, obviously the winning is unbelievable, and means a lot. It's kind of funny, the 8 years, or 7 years, I guess, that she was the coach that I've been here. I've only seen us lose a game once, and that might have been the most impressive I've ever seen her. Because the way she handled that game afterward, I don't know if I could have done that. I don't think any of you girls could have done that. None of them parents could have done that. And she handled that like a boss. She really did. And that to me, it's funny. It's sad, but that might be the most impressive thing I ever saw out of her. I can't say enough good things about Wendy Pinta. I would go on forever, about her. It's just everything she does is just, and I mean, we're talking about a person who's the GOAT. We're talking about the GOAT.
Even with all the success Coach Pinta had as a coach, her favorite part of coaching was...
Yeah, definitely the kids and watching them succeed. I mean, there's nothing like either having a success where a kid has a aha moment and seeing that unfold right in front of you, or whether it's winning a game that we didn't think we were going to win or weren't ready for, and people coming together. I mean, it's really kind of a beautiful thing to witness and be a part of, and it's super exciting and really energy producing. And so I haven't found other avenues in my life where I kind of feel that.
The details that she puts into practice plans, game plans, wanting to make players the best possible, paying attention to all the fundamental stuff. I think because she cares about the players as individuals too, I think comes across. I think, she's so respectful. And even if you think you're going to beat a team by a lot, respects it so nobody kind of sneaks up on you. And then that innovation, even though she's been successful over the years, never thinks that she knows everything and realizes the game is evolving. So she also is always trying to learn new things and become better.
I love Coach Pinta because she is so positive and she knows everything that there is to know about the game of lacrosse. I also love Coach Pinta because she pushes you to be your best self and the best player that you can be, and makes you do things that you don't want to do in the moment, but in the end they're going to make you so much stronger and so much better as a person and a player.
I just hope that people really consider, athletes really consider how they can give back to the sport. I never in a million years thought that stepping on the field to warm up my friend, the goalie, would ever translate into what it has for me. I mean, it absolutely 100% changed the direction of my life to have been a part of so many young kids' own pathways. So whether it's coaching, whether it's officiating, whether it's helping out at a camp or a clinic, or having a neighbor next door that's learning to catch and throw, it's like you never know what passing on your passion might do for another. It's really, really empowering. It's extremely significant. It's given me 100% purpose and direction for my own life. It's been lacrosse, literally is one of the most significant relationships I have, with my community. And I never knew that. I never knew that picking up my stick for the first time as a 10th grader. So figuring out how to give back is, to me, the one thing that I hope that young people will do for whatever passion they happen to have.
This has been Lily Stelzer reporting for the WARL.
Thanks, Lily. We will continue to update you on the new lacrosse staff.
And now to Kate and Claire with sports.
For nearly 4 school years, almost 50,000 officials have left high school athletics. The National Federation of State High School Associations has said that the shortage of officials has reached a crisis level throughout the state and country. Factors include unsportsmanlike behavior from players, coaches, and parents. More recently, the pandemic has been a large factor for the loss of officials.
Both girls and boys swimming competed in the state tournament at the end of February in Canton, Ohio. The girls team placed second in the state. Caroline Porterfield, Riley Huddleston, Avery Catalano, and Hayden Hollingsworth placed first in the 200 free relay at the state tournament, beating New Albany's relay by 0.12 seconds. The boys team finished 6th overall with the first place finish by Grant Gooding in the 100 breast. Gooding swam the 100 in 54.37 seconds, with the runner-up swimming it in 54.9 seconds.
The Upper Arlington boys basketball team finished their regular season with an OCC Central title. The Bears won their first playoff game against Chillicothe 58-14.
Quinn Corna was named the OCC Player of the Year and became the 7th player to surpass 1,000 points in Upper Arlington history. All starting 5 players got an all-conference honor, with Quinn Corna and Nick Heath first team, Drew Graves and Jeffrey Shoney second team, and Owen Gow with an honorable mention.
The Bears beat Olentangy Friday, February 25th, 56-37. They took on Newark at Watkins Memorial and won 61-38, with Nick Heath scoring 26 points. The Bears played Reynoldsburg Saturday, March 5th at Ohio Dominican University for a district title and won 48-43. The Bears will play again Wednesday, March 9th against Pickerington Central in the regional semifinal. Tickets must be purchased online at ohsaa.org/tickets. Season passes, school IDs, and senior passes are not valid for OHSAA tournament games.
Upper Arlington girls basketball lost to Marysville 56-36 in the district semifinal game. The Bears finished their season 15-9, an improvement of 12 games from the 2020-2021 season. Salone Brooks and Alyssa Guest earned second team All-League, as well as sophomore Quinn Buttermore with an honorable mention.
If you have been to a basketball game at Upper Arlington High School this season, you may have noticed the name Jim Hamilton on the court. Kirsten takes a look.
Jim Hamilton served 25 years as a coach and athletic director at Upper Arlington High School. He coached basketball and golf from 1968 to 1986 and went on to serve as athletic director until 1993.
I grew up in a basketball community, a very tiny community. There was only 27 in my graduating class, but we were a basketball community. That's what made our community. And so I always wanted to be a basketball player. All my idols were basketball players at the Glenford. And so I had 3 brothers, and they were all very competitive, and I just became a basketball fan from early on, and so that's how I got started. In the beginning, when I went to college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but the more I played, the more that I decided I really enjoyed the game, and not just playing, but I enjoyed the intricacies of the game. And so I started thinking, well, maybe this would be something I could do, and my college coach said that if you want to, you could be a graduate assistant in our program when I graduated at Miami. And so I did, liked it, and just coaching became a part of me. Being around those players, those athletes, student athletes, was the essential part of it. And the other part of it is the competitiveness of sports. It doesn't have to be basketball, but in basketball, being competitive is so, it gets in your blood. You like it. And you learn pretty quickly that you're not going to win every night. Marv Moorhead, who the stadium is named at, who was one of the best coaches I was ever around, and he would always say to me, Jim, he said, the sun comes up on Saturday morning where you win or lose. And so that was part of that. So that was what, kind of made me want to be and to stay as a coach.
In 2020, Jim Hamilton was inducted in the Upper Arlington High School Athletic Hall of Fame. In honor of Jim's positive impact on Upper Arlington basketball, the court was named Jim Hamilton Court.
I didn't get here by myself. Well, having my name on that court wasn't me. I mean, I was part of that, but it was my players, it was my coaches, it was the staff, it was the people around me. So every time I see that name there, I feel very humbled, but I also know that there were a lot of people that were responsible for me having that name there.
I talked to cheerleading coach Christine Hayes to see how Jim Hamilton impacted her.
I was the cheerleading coach a long time ago, a freshman and JV cheerleading coach when Jim Hamilton was the athletic director. And so I really didn't have that much contact with him, just coaching freshman and JV. But when I became the varsity football cheer coach in 1991, I worked more closely with him. And one of the things I remember about Jim was that, at least my impression of him was that he was a stickler for the rules. So if there was a policy and it said you have to do such and such, then that was what we were expected to do. So that was one of the things that I took away from the time that I worked with Jim Hamilton.
Former basketball player of Jim Hamilton and current coach gave his perspective.
Obviously, as a little kid growing up in Upper Arlington and him being the head basketball coach and me wanting to kind of aspire to play high school basketball, I just, he's one of those guys so positive, so energetic, so committed to our basketball program, gave so much of his time. So anything you could do to be recognized by him, if he just said, hey, good job, Case, that meant an awful lot. So he's still kind of a active part in my life. I still talk to him regularly. I think he's 83, 84 years old right now. And still, every time I talk to him, I get a good feeling, and, he's super supportive. He's largely the reason that I started to coach, myself.
This has been Kirsten Sauer reporting from the WARL.
Thanks, Kirsten, and thanks, Coach Hamilton, for your contribution to the basketball program at Upper Arlington.
Now let's take a look at Coach Hayes and her teaching and coaching career at UA High School.
Coach Hayes has been the head varsity cheer coach for many, many years. Here she tells how it started and how it's going.
Well, I got a job here in Upper Arlington in 1985, and the first year I was here, I didn't do any extracurricular. But then at the end of that school year, the person who was the varsity cheer coach came to me and said, hey, I need a freshman cheerleading coach. Would you consider doing it? And I said, oh, sure, I'll do it for a year. Right? So here I am.
Coach Hayes has coached many cheerleading squads over her 35 years at Upper Arlington. Each day, she continues to make an impact on the cheerleading program.
Freshman for I think 2 years, and that was when I had a freshman football squad, and then at the time, the middle schools had just moved to the high school, so we actually had 2 basketball teams for freshmen. We had a black team and a gold team, so I had 2 basketball cheerleading squads. I had a squad that cheered for the black team and a squad that cheered for the gold team. It's been a lot of fun, obviously, or I wouldn't have done it for this long. The girls have gotten, I've taken the girls to 2 national competitions, one in Dallas, Texas, one in Florida at Walt Disney World. Yeah. I've gotten to have the girls cheer for a football state championship back in 2000, for a state basketball championship game in 2014 at the Shot. I got to take 2 different squads to cheer at the Ohio State Stadium for a Kirk Herbstreit Classic, which they don't do anymore. But that was fun, even though the team lost miserably those games. So it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of good experiences. The girls have been great to work with. So it's time consuming. And so, there's been some times where I miss some family things because, I've got some cheerleading thing to do. Tryouts are never easy, because some girls don't make it. They're upset, so you have to deal with that.
I talked to varsity basketball captain Carter Moore on how Coach Hayes has impacted her cheerleading career.
I've been cheering for 6 years. Coach Hayes since I was a freshman when we did the tryout process, but I had her as a coach for only 2 years, so last year and then this year. Coach Hayes has taught me a lot about cheer, obviously, because she's the cheer coach, but she's also taught me a lot about leadership and
how to be a good teammate and how to lift each other up instead of bringing each other down and working together and all that stuff.
Just spending time with the girls. My nieces and nephews who are in their late 20s, early 30s, can't believe some of the stuff I know. And I'm like, it's because I hang around the girls, you know? So I know about some song, or I know about some dance, or I know, you know? It's because you guys tell me that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
This has been Catherine Schaus reporting for the WARL.
Thanks, Catherine.
And now Alexa and Lilia with Community News.
The Upper Arlington Public Library will be on the ballot May 3rd, seeking to renew a $2 million operating levy, asking voters to approve an additional $1 million for operations.
This request was first approved in 2007 and most recently approved in 2016. The current levy costs about $48 annually per $100,000 of home values as of November.
The additional $1 million would cost another $35 annually, for a total of $78 in some charge.
Thanks to taxpayers and donations, the new parking lot is in construction. Now, Catherine takes a look at the parking situation at Upper Arlington High School due to construction of the new athletic fields and parking lots.
Coach Hayes has been the head varsity cheer coach for many, many years. At the start of the 2021-2022 school year, the parking has been a big struggle for students. Since the old school is under construction, there's been no parking lots available. Everyone has had to park on off-roads that are blocks away or park on Mount Holyoke or Northwest. I spoke to Kayla Zetwick and Lauren Ortley on their opinion on the parking this year.
I don't like the parking because it takes a really long time to walk to school and I have to leave really early. I also don't like it. I leave my house at 7:20 to get there at 7:30 and there's still, like, all the spots are really full.
People leave their house super early just to find a spot that takes them 5 minutes or more to walk. It's been super inconvenient for students. When interviewing Nick Froehlich, he spoke on walking into the school.
So my experience with parking has not been good. I have to park about a quarter mile away from the high school every single day, and it's a long walk, not enjoyable.
Some people even walk or bike to school because parking is so bad. I spoke to Heath Youngkin on this idea.
I could drive, but I don't because the parking is so bad, so I just walk.
We are hoping by the end of the school year there will be a parking lot for students and that this will no longer be an issue moving forward.
Parking will improve as the new parking lot is built, and the plan is to have the same amount of parking as the old school had.
Due to the pandemic, over 80% of musicians are unable to return full-time. But as things begin to return to normalcy, singers and songwriters have started their tours again.
Here are some of the artists performing in Ohio in the upcoming months. Girl in Red is performing at Kemba Live on March 23rd, Elton John at the Schottenstein Center on April 12th, Tame Impala is performing at Kemba Live on May 26th, Wallace is performing at Kemba Live June 3rd.
The Lumineers are performing in Cincinnati at Riverbend Music Center June 7th, Rex Orange County performing at Kemba Live on June 20th, Campus performing at Ohio University on April 6th. You can find more concerts in Columbus at www.ticketmaster.com. Student reporter Vivian Lawless takes a look at previous camp concert and student
camp returned to play 2 sold-out nights at Express Live. Among the crowd, many UA students, families, and alumni, showing a special tie to the community here at UA.
Okay, my cousin was friends with like the lead singer, so he kind of introduced me to camp, and I've just listened to them ever since, and I just love them.
So I like camp because it just reminds me of like hanging out with friends in the summertime, like sitting around a campfire, like it's just like chill music that I love listening to.
I went to the concert on Friday night. It was my first concert since COVID, and it was a lot of fun to see all those people in the same area, all having a good time.
I started listening to camp because they were from UA, and I wanted to, everyone else was talking about them, so I thought I'd give them a listen.
Former Hastings teacher Mr. Lloyd has been credited to introducing many students to the band.
I had Mr. Lloyd in middle school, and in class he would always play music and play camp, so that's how I was introduced to it.
Mr. Lloyd in 7th grade introduced me to camp, and I really liked him.
My favorite song is Strawberries. My favorite song by camp is By and By.
This has been Vivian Lawless reporting for the WARL.
Taylor Meyer and Evan Westall both graduated from Upper Arlington High School.
Now to Leah Nathan with Lifestyle.
Since Snapchat's initial release in 2011, people have not been able to change their usernames. If someone wanted a new one, they would have to create a new account. However, on February 23rd, a new update came out to both Android and iOS devices, allowing users to change their usernames, but they are only permitted to change them once a year.
The Rams faced off against the Bengals for the 56th Super Bowl on February 13th. The game was played at the SoFi Stadium and brought in 112 million viewers. Natalie takes a closer look at the game and the festivities around it.
What two teams have won the most Super Bowls?
The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots.
The Rams. The Patriots. Yeah, and the 49ers. The Patriots and the Dolphins. Seagulls.
Patriots. The Patriots and the Steelers. Tom Brady and the Giants. Steelers.
The Patriots and the I don't know the other one.
Steelers and Patriots.
Patriots and the Steelers.
Packers and Cowboys.
How many pounds does the Lombardi Trophy weigh?
30.
I'm gonna say, isn't it really heavy? So probably 5 pounds?
130.
Oh, it's probably 35 pounds.
So you got any of this?
32.4.
12.
5?
A lot. 22 pounds.
I don't know, 15.
Oh. Probably like 7.01 pounds.
How many Super Bowls has there been?
I would say maybe 54.
56.
57.
51. 50. Is this going to be the 54th?
Oh, I should know this.
74.
Hold on, actually, give me a second.
52.
Maybe 70.
53.
I think this is the 52nd Super Bowl?
Ooh, 56. Yeah, 56. Well, 55. This is 56. Yeah.
How much does a 30-second commercial cost?
$1.5 million.
$10,000.
I know it's a lot. Probably 100 million.
$1 million. 10,000. Oh, 5 million. About 5 million. It's under 5 million, but more than 5 million. 5 million. Between $1 million and 5 million. 5 million.
$1 million?
Oh, 10 million? 3 million.
2 million.
$1 million.
12.8 million.
10 million.
How many chicken wings are consumed on Super Bowl Sunday?
Jeez. 600,000.
50,000.
30 million.
Like a word bag? I mean, like an answer bag? $1 million?
32,000.
A lot.
10 mil.
Like 3 billion or something like that.
Thousands.
She's guessing that one.
1.3 billion.
Oh! Did you say billion? Oh, wow. That's disgusting.
This has been Natalie Potts reporting for the WARL.
Thanks, Natalie. Wordle has quickly risen in the ranks of most popular games. NBC News describes it as 2022's hottest COVID trend. You have 5 letters, 6 tries, and 1 word a day. However, many people are upset with the New York Times purchase of the game and have explained how it has changed since.
St. Patrick's Day is approaching, and the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's is back. These shakes are available until March 17th. To go alongside the returning milkshake, McDonald's will also be selling a Shamrock McFlurry. You can find a location that sells these drinks on McDonald's official Shamrock Shake Finder app. Now back to Maine with Izzy and Max.
The theme for Upper Arlington's high school prom this year is Under the Stars. This dance will be held at Kosei on April 9th.
The dance will look a little different this year as there will only be desserts and beverages provided.
In honor of school dances, let's take a look at homecoming.
Schools across the nation carry out the huge tradition of homecoming. Homecoming is a week-long event starting with Spirit Week, a football game, and then ultimately the dance. We kicked off our Spirit Week with PJs on Monday, class colors on Tuesday, Denim Day on Wednesday, Decade Day on Thursday, and finally Hawaiian on Friday. Next was the homecoming football game. The game is a huge event where they also announced the homecoming king and queen. I got the chance to talk to 2 of the homecoming court nominees, asking them what they were most excited for.
I'm excited to have my family walk me across the field for court.
I'm excited for that too. It's gonna be fun. Me and Viv and all of our other friends. It's gonna be super fun. And yeah, I guess we're excited for, I don't know, sitting on the field during the football game. Like, that's just like fun and different. I don't know.
Finally is the dance, where everyone has different, fun, and exciting plans. I asked a few people what they were most excited for homecoming day and what their plans were.
Right there. So first we're gonna go to one of my friend's house to do pictures and all that. Then we're gonna go to dinner at Hudson 29. I'm excited, I've never been there before. And then we're gonna stop by the dance and it should be a lot of fun.
I'm most excited for after the after party, to hang out with friends after and just I don't know, have fun, because we don't really get to do that often when everybody's together. It's just kind of I don't know.
The thing I'm most excited for homecoming is probably wearing my dress and seeing everyone else's dresses.
Me and my friends are going to Hudson 29 for dinner and then going to the dance and then hanging out after.
I'm really excited for the theme.
I'm excited to go to homecoming to show off my dance moves.
Every year, the dance also has a theme. This year was The Great Gatsby. Sammy Hart on the student council told me their plans for the dance.
So, because the theme is The Great Gatsby, they decided to do croquet on the lawn, chess, and large checkers on the field. And then on one side of the Marv, there's going to be a huge tent so a ton of people can attend the dance under there. So hopefully a lot of people will be dancing.
Teachers were also dressed up in costumes, and at the end, students received free t-shirts. Can't wait to see what next year brings.
Thanks, Lily.
The prom starts at 7 and ends at 11. Hope to see you there.
That's it for this edition of UA Alive.